Khalid Rasheed, ForTheHMagazine, for the city of Houston, for the culture. For the H magazine, man.
Okay, this is Khalid Rasheed for the H Magazine. Shout out to our sponsor, Little Ryan Wildlife Magazine. So go ahead and tell the people who you are and what you got going on.
Yeah, my name Derrick, D-Rec, Dixon, CEO, Reckreal Records. You know what I'm saying? Just been out here doing my thing, still doing my thing. It's whatever, you know what I'm saying? Whatever I can do, but just in case for the people that don't know, like my label, we put out Fat Pad, Big Mo, ESG, done a few films, Dirty Third films, and, Mike Jones movie. Worked with a lot of movies on Fifth Ward, done a lot of work, Greg Carter, man, just like try to stand up for the whole music scene.
Okay. Okay, so what made you, what was, I know most of us, I'm sure when you started your label, I'm sure, I don't know if you had, your educational background come from business management or, what I'm saying, it made you want to go ahead and create your own label. Because I remember at a time, which is so significant, that, in 93, Andre Three Stacks got on at the Source Awards and told the people that the South got something to say since they looked down on us. You know what I'm saying? And so you played a prominent role to shape for people to be called, you know what I'm saying, for us to be called the third coast though. So what made you do that though? You know what I'm saying? Well, bring it to life.
Man, first and foremost, even before I got into the music business or space or place, whatever you want to call it, I was already on some entrepreneur. So
Okay.
that was just always motivating me. You know what I mean? So I always had this hustle side of me, and then I always was seeking knowledge and information. So that took me all the way through grad school. So I was just like a street cat, but still getting my MBA. And I say street cat just because I put my toes in it. Now I wasn't no dope dealing dude, but I was a hustler,
Mm-hmm.
doing things I needed to do to open up businesses.
Yeah.
But I'm saying all that to say it's just an independent spirit. You know what I'm saying? You're a young black male and you trying to do things the right way. You know what I'm saying? You go try to open up a business or something, and then you go in there and they ain't giving us no loans.
Yeah.
And then that's what led me to have to go get my own loan. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that spirit of building businesses and stuff, and I already had a detail shop, had like a seafood distribution company, and
Oh, okay.
was selling seafood and all this type of stuff in Atlanta. And I opened up a recording studio and got into the music business. That's off the rip.
Okay.
But coming back and forth from the crib and home and coming this way, and I just like fell in love with the whole movement. And when I saw that the screw culture was our culture, you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Our lingo, like
Mm-hmm.
how we get down, how we do things. And it just was like instantly I knew my calling. And a lot of people don't understand that. A lot of people in this business, they in it for the wrong reason. You know what I'm saying? I knew why I was in this business. It was to promote our culture, to
Mm-hmm.
fight for our music, for us to get the same dude that New York gets, the same
Yeah.
dude LA gets. So that's why we did the films. That's why we was doing everything that we could to be self-sufficient. And that fell right in line with my partner Screw, because that's what he was about. We was like, man, it was kind of like an anti-corporate mentality, because we weren't like New York cats. We can walk down the street and
Yeah.
go walk in Sony and in and out of Universal and stuff. So we had to figure out how to do it ourselves, man. That was the mantra. Gonna push this culture forward, man. And I'm just here to say, man, I know my partner looking down, and I know he is proud, because what was just a vision is now real. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? You got prominent artists all around this world that recognize the Screw movement, DJ Screw, everything he did, all these cats that came out of it, man. So it's been a blessing just to have been even a part of that.
Yeah. Okay, now we're gonna follow up. It's a two-part question. What made you come up with the name Rec Shop Records? And then also, the people that you named off like Fat Pack, Little Mo, and all them to be in the room with these people and to hear these projects and not even knowing that it would basically just start a whole, like you said, a whole movement. Like it changed really the world perspective of us though. How did that make you feel that you was a part of that?
Like I said, it's a blessing now because it's in hindsight. At that time, you moving, You know what I mean? You got a cause, and you don't really see the magnitude of what you're doing sometimes when you're doing it. That's why I say if you're a true soldier, you just fighting one battle at a time. And then when the war over, you look back, you're like, man, we won the war, or I was played a significant role in it. It was never just for pretense. It was like every day woke up trying to push this culture, push our music, and bring whatever I had, and I always tried to bring something to the game, you know what I'm saying? And I saw, as strong as that movement was, I was like, take my business acumen and how I do things, and let's try to bring something to it. And hopefully I did. I feel like I did. Like we came in and almost created a whole little chitlin circuit for ourselves to push this music throughout this region. We weren't worried about the country. We worried about the region. And in doing so, it gave birth to this thing going nationwide, you know what I'm saying? So then you end up, that second generation come through with Paul and Slim and all them, and they actually, went. But the predecessors that took the region allowed them to take the country, and all that was calculated. So that part. And then Rec Shop, man, my nickname Derrick. I had another label prior to this in Atlanta called Gemini Entertainment, you know what I'm saying? And I had a partner, you know what I'm saying? But I had kind of like started, you're young, man, you want to make sure people work for money, you work for recognition, you work for respect, you know what I'm saying? And it ain't always about money. Sometimes, you want to be acknowledged for what you create or what your vision is. And I had a situation where a few people, because I lay low a lot, you know what I'm saying? So we go so well sometimes, we don't know who the boss is, you know what I'm saying? And then I wanted to make sure that even though I'm kind of quiet and chill, that everybody understood, that this was my company, my vision. And so we put your name on it. Now there ain't no question.
Okay, so what I want to go ahead and talk to you about next is the movie Dirty Third. Um, I know you did a sequel to it, and I think it's about to be. I heard it's supposed to be a trilogy to it. So when y'all put this together, I just remember watching it. You know what I'm saying? This is VH1 tapes and stuff like that. For those that don't know, it was one point in time that VH1s did exist. You know what I'm saying? For those, you know what I'm saying, people back then. So when y'all was putting this movie together, Ronnie Spencer was in here yesterday. He said you kind of had a script, but everybody else kind of ad-lib, and it still came together like it really did. You know what I'm saying? So how did that, what that process was? That thought, I know some people like, man, I want to do a movie. Or should I do it? Rest of these type of things, and then all those people, everybody played in and did them together. How did you able to do that, like on a daily basis and stuff like that?
Man, a lot of luck and blessings from God, because, since then, I worked on, other film projects.
Yeah.
And now I know how lucky and blessed we were because, if you're not organized, like when it's time to edit, it's got to still make sense, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I would never just freestyle another situation like that. So that's how I know God blessed us. And we didn't have no script. But the thing about it was we had a script, you know what I'm saying? So we knew where wanted to take the story. It was all jotted out, you know what I mean? We just had it, we just described each scene and then brought the scene to life through the people. So it wasn't like we just jumped out there and done anything. But like I said, still when it come to what I know about film now, with continuity and keeping things straight and the way you shoot, you don't shoot linear, you shoot by location. So, you know what I mean? So you might shoot, today me and you got this on and then, because we're here, but if we got to be in a restaurant that we shooting 2 days from now, me and you got to come back looking like this again. You know what I'm saying? So the clothes, they got to be ironed, or somebody need to take that picture so that, my collar the same way. I got 3 buttons or 2 buttons. You know what I'm saying? So little things like that, man, I realize it's important. And, we got away with that then too. So we did get a lot of passes on that. People, they understood what we was trying to do. What we was trying to do was do our own thing out here. Now, with technology and cameras, you can't get away with that no more. People are gonna measure, see, like, is it a quality film or not? There's so much in the marketplace now. It wasn't nothing else to compete with it that was coming from here. So all it needed to be was, people gave us a pass on that. Like now, in this new film project we got getting ready to come out, hopefully people can look at it and say, man, they leveled up. You know what I mean? And it's a more higher level project. You know what I'm saying? We ain't just shoot here. We went to Chicago. We went to Miami with it. You know what I mean? We just wanted to expand on it and show growth. You know what I mean? And once again, it's always repping for this culture and this scene. So I hope when somebody from somewhere else see it, they like, oh man, cats down there, they did some that's competitive with industry standards. You know what I'm saying? We can't never get away from that. And I feel like that's where we get lost at out here. We get so caught up in competing with each other that we forget that we are a group as a whole. We are competing with everybody else because we need our music scene to be the number one fishing hole. And in order for that, the water got to be good. People got to want to come here, and we forget that. You know what I'm saying? So we always think we fighting with each other when we all really kind of fighting together. We should be.
Yeah. Do you think the torch has been passed on, or Houston has lost its mark, like about 2008, 7 mark? You know what I'm saying, around that time, and then Atlanta went ahead and ran forth with it. Do you think that is really, what I'm saying, that when people saying that we lost, or are we kind of behind, or we now about to start catching up with Atlanta now? What you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, I think all this was part of the process. When I came here, in terms of just being realistic, the Atlanta music scene was already in front of the Houston music scene. It was then, you know what I mean? It was then. You had Babyface and them, L.A. Reid. You had more. So just here, all we really had was Rap a Lot. You know what I'm saying? And then we had Suave House. You know what I'm saying? But you still did not have the infrastructure that was built there. You know what I mean? So, because part of my reason, I wanted to see our market develop like that. The only thing that happened to us though is that we had got on a run, and then the momentum got broke. And that's a lot of reasons for that though. Some of it is, our shit was built on a lot of independent CDs and tapes and stuff. So when you start moving from CDs to streaming, that disrupted everybody. So it killed the whole independent movement. And at that same time, radio got restructured. So it was harder for independents to get their music played because all the radio stations started consolidating the playlists across the country. They took a lot of power away from the PDs. So you put all those recipes together and you take Southwest Wholesale, which was a big piece to our puzzle. That was our distribution channel, and up with, people that would come in and not only get in the store, but also put a couple of dollars in your pocket. So all those pieces together, which disrupted the whole music scene across the country, it disrupted us the most because we was the independent. We was the ones attached from all the majors. So it makes sense as to why we had a little slowdown, you know what I'm saying, on developing new artists. But I commend all these young cats, man, that's coming through because, what don't kill you make you stronger, and we still continued, like the Kirkos. They came through a lot of that slowdown period. Kirko did, and then Cheddar connecting them, and then, and they gave birth to, what's going on now, you know what I mean? And so now you still got, got Fast Lane and Lil Jeremy and a ton of other little guys out here, young guys, I ain't saying little guys, but young guys that I'm very proud of. EXO, I'm working with him right now because he's such a catalyst. So my point is that we survived the storm, but now, right at this particular moment, we about to take a big growth step, not just in music, but in film and in everything, culturally, everything. It was like a shock treatment for the come because I seen it happen to Atlanta. So many people are moving here right now. COVID exposed the beauty that a lot of people hadn't seen about this city, and now everybody relocating, and a lot of people running here for real estate reasons and all kind of reasons. But you can best believe, it's important that people like yourself platform. That's why I try to support everybody that I can, because if we don't support each other, other people gonna come here and they gonna support each other. And then next thing you know, not saying Atlanta is ran by outsiders, but it's a lot of outsiders running a lot of over there. And I'm not saying it's all bad, but I think people that pioneered this place deserve to be at the table too.
I agree.
Yeah.
I definitely agree. Okay, now so we want to get into August the 14th, 2022, for the Culture Awards and our 1 year anniversary. So, you know, you was nominated for a few awards and you was also in a room with people, I don't know, a group of your peers, you know what I'm saying? So how did that make you feel coming back, you know what I'm saying, and being acknowledged and then just being in that room um, when that, you know, that whole everything, the whole process was going on? How did you feel about that?
Man, first and foremost, it's a blessing when to be honored
Okay.
for anything, man, because so long and so many times people put in work. Like I said, it ain't always about money. And a lot of some people ain't gonna toot their own horn. You know what I mean? You got some people that just, and so to be recognized and acknowledged, man, that's a blessing to know to be able to know people that you respect and be put in the same category with them. That's humbling. And like I said before, not only that, it's a blessing because like if we don't honor ourselves, if we don't create platforms that acknowledge the things that we do, then nobody else will. And so thank you guys for that. And like I said once before, it's a humbling deal and full of humility, man, because nobody ain't, I know me, I know I ain't never set out, what I do ain't for that. I do it, I like respect, don't get it twisted, but I do it because I'm competitive and I like to win and I like my team to win. And then, so it's about bringing home the trophy or the championship, not about worrying about, what I mean, who all know what I did and what I didn't do. But it sure does feel good when somebody do say, hey, man, we saw you leave it on the field, man. You went hard. You know what I'm saying? That's all.
Yeah, yeah, I definitely agree with you. Okay, so my last question to you, for I know you said you recently doing film. So how could somebody try to get into try to get into one of your films, or is the casting call process, or what do they have to do? Because I'm sure you don't people try to stop you all the time on the street and all that type of stuff though too. So to try to eliminate all that though, so what does somebody try to do to try to get into one of your films or whatever that you got going on?
Man, the best thing to do is follow me. You know what I'm saying? They got me on that, man. I'm old school. I wasn't even with it, but
Okay.
that's the world. That's
Yeah.
the world we
You
living in
living
right
now.
now. If you think I'm making some moves, and you think follow me so you stay in tune with my next move. That's the most important thing, and that's at Reckreal, Reckreal. I'm just learning the power of social media and stuff, man. And I'm actually having a program myself to tune in to people because you're not gonna know what's going on, you know what I'm saying? But you can best believe we are gonna shoot more films. I got a distribution company we're getting ready to launch. We got a few some good things coming down the pipe work, man. And to be honest, the only way I can guarantee somebody gonna know it is if they follow me and pay attention, because we will post and say this is where casting call gonna be at. We will say this is what's going on. You have to. So if they follow me, they gonna know, and then and everybody gonna get their fair shot.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because the goal is to win, so we don't overlook nobody, count nobody out, man. The goal is put the best man up in the for the job in the spot, man.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. Okay, well, I don't want to hold you too long. My camera got back there doing jumping jacks and stuff like that, though. So I know he need his coffee. So
Yeah.
you ain't gonna hold him up too much long. Go ahead and drop your social media handles and send any projects that you got going on where people can come out and support you.
Yeah, man. Just stay tuned. Be prepared, man, for the Dirty Third Part three, Next Generation. You know what I'm saying? I'm so excited to see what it tastes like to y'all. You know what I mean? Like we've been cooking in the kitchen on it for a year, but we getting ready. It's getting ready to come out very soon. So stay tuned for that. Um, be on the lookout for DJ EXO. Big Dreams project. It's coming out. His project, dope project. I think Hood Hop was the single on that, but I think people gonna really see how much bigger this record is and how big. And this dude is a genius, man. So stay tuned for that. Um, uh, and everything else, man. That's good, man. Just pay attention to me. Check me out. Follow me on Instagram at Reckreal, Reckreal. Follow me on Facebook, Derrick, Derrick Dixon. And yeah, man, that's it, man. Thank you for having me on here. And
Oh, it's no
plan on coming back. Plan on hitting some more home runs, man. So y'all have me back up here, man.
Yeah, I know. I probably should. The studio manager want to get with you before we leave too, and you can sit down and talk to him. Before I go, I want to say shout out to our sponsor, Wildlife Magazine, Little Ron. This is Khalid Rasheed for the H Magazine. Enjoy your rest of your day.